Good evening, race fans, or if you're like me, good morning or good afternoon indeed, whichever part of the world you happen to find yourself in. It's Tasman Racing Oval Series once again. That opening tune really is a banger. We've got a new one on the way. Make sure you're here next week for that. But we're here today for North Wilkesboro. It is round number 3. It's myself, John Wright, on the commentary today. One of the shortest tracks on the circuit, 0.6 miles long, as you can see in the B-roll in the background there. It is a very short, sharp course. The drivers will rarely be at absolute top speed. There will be at full acceleration. Certainly won't be a high-speed track or endeavour for the drivers today. They're currently out in lone qualifying, which has got a couple of minutes left, so plenty of time to look at the standings for the series so far. Boom, boom. There we go. As we can see, Lewis Buhagia leading the way on 203 points. Just for informational purposes, these standings do take into consideration the drop round already. So we have had 3 rounds. Sorry, yeah, this is round 4. Goodness me. Yeah, so we have had 3 rounds already, but only 2 rounds worth of points have been counted. As you can see, it's hybrid at the top of the standings, Buhagia and De Bono. De Bono's only raced twice. 2 podiums, so not a bad exchange rate for him. Nicholas Heath in 3rd position, Matthew Searle and Rob Tilley at 4th and 5th. Ryan Llewellyn. Why is that difficult for a Scotsman? He's only 6 points behind Tilley. Lucas Blake just ahead of Jason Hutchins. And the Colonel himself, Michael Sanders, he's on the car. Drew Collins in 10th, and it's Hutchins Johnson. Boone Blake down in 13th. I'm expecting a big resurgence from Boone. We've seen some solid racing stints from Boone so far. Just hasn't quite had the results. That will turn around before the end of the season, I can assure you. Kieran Lash on 32 points ahead of Stern. Coates Dodra, Williams, Colvin and Austin. We've ended up with a double overlay there, so my apologies. Let's bring that one up nice and clean. There we go. Thank you very much, SDK. Perfect. Yeah, we've only got a few seconds left to qualify, so we'll get the results up on screen and have a look. I don't believe, let me just check. Oh, sorry, yes we do. Jared Gilbert, my apologies. Has entered the league, no points as yet, so no point in bringing that one up, it seems. As I say, the drivers, we're here at 125 laps they're going to be putting in today. In fact, if we have a looky out on track, there we go. Right, 2 minutes until the cars are out on track, so we'll get to see, as I say, 125. In fact, there's some live footage of the track at the moment. That is what we're looking at. The cars are, in fact, gridding up. And there is the grid up on screen. Limited numbers racing today, of course, the Bathurst event coming up next week. A lot of travelling to be done. Quali. Yep, 8 drivers today. It is Searle from Blake, from Buhagia, from Collins, from Sanders, from Hutchins, from Tilley, and from Hutchins. Oh, we could see a double podium for the Hutchins brothers. That would certainly be nice to see. I'm sure a few of the other drivers will have something to say about that. We will find out soon. Here we go. As I mentioned, very short lap here. Only 0.63 miles long. So it will be a quick affair out there today. And it should be. The drivers are going to consider themselves quite lucky, I think, given the number of cars that we've got, because this is a tricky track, as you can see, with it being as short as it is. And there we go, there's the green flag, and we are off on a... Oh, and he's pulled straight over. That is an instant yellow flag. What is going on there? So there we go then, we've got an instant yellow flag. Can't actually see, nothing's come up there, very strange. Nothing's come up, right, okay, so we're under yellow flag at the moment. Let's have a look and see if we can actually catch what happened there on a replay. So here we go, we're off and running at the start. Oh wow, okay, so yeah. A couple of cars bounced together instantly before we even get into turn number 1. Lucas Blake, if we go back to the live pictures, he's pulled into the pits. Yep, so Blake is instantly in. He was clearly the car that got caught out there. Very close between the two of them, so he's going to come in. He'll be looking for a lucky dog straight away. Yeah, 8 of the best indeed. Can't believe that happened that quick. Yeah, turn 1, it's one of those. I'm trying to remember the course we did last season. We had a similar outcome. Into turn number 1, lap 1, turn 1. It can be a tricky one, but yeah, 2 cars bouncing together there. Unfortunately, the numbers didn't appear. I'd love to get a good close look at that. But Blake, Lucas Blake, the only person to come in and out of the pits, Lewis Buhagiar, staying up at the top of the field. Michael Sanders, we'll see where he files back in. It's currently saying he's in 3rd, Tilley in 4th, Searle in 5th, and Hutchins and Lucas Blake right down at the back. So that's going to be a few laps under safety car already. That is lap 5 that we're currently on. The safety car will come in, I believe, at the end of this lap, so we'll get racing again at the start of lap number 6. Hopefully we can make it through more than just one turn. I did say at the start though, this is a very tricky track, and the drivers might actually be grateful that we've got single digits out there driving. There is Michael Sanders out on the high line, Lewis Buhagiar on that inside line there. And there we go, it's the green flag once again. Ooh, and the number 13 has slowed up there ever so slightly. And it's going to catch him out big time as well. Michael Sanders finds himself absolutely hung out to dry on the outside line. Such a difficult course to get any momentum going. Lewis Buhagiar though, he's got himself some momentum. He knows how to lead from the front. He's done that several times in this league already. Collins in 2nd place. And it looks like Lucas Blake already carving his way through the... he is not messing about in the slightest. He's already made himself up. Why does that still say the safety car's on? Goodness me, there we go. So Lucas Blake already passed another 2 cars. It's Daniel Hutchins that's dropped down 2 overall. Lucas Blake down 4 at the moment. Matthew Searle has also dropped down a couple of positions as well. You can see the top 3 fairly spread out already. Lewis Buhagiar will not mind that in the slightest. Woohoo, back of the car getting a little bit lively. And we can see just how tricky this course is. In fact, we'll get on board with our race leader, shall we? And just have a listen. Accelerate, big lift. So slow through the corners. These things are practically hairpins. Oh, that's some brave early acceleration. Look how close he gets to the wall on the corner exit. And again, just as the car sounds like it's getting up to full speed, absolutely nerfed once again. and into the corner. That is another lap done and dusted. What is that now? 11 done already? It is indeed 11 of the 125 done and dusted. Bless me. That one stuck out of the infield. Bihaja is running away with this one already. He's got quite the gap over the front, in fact. Let's look at the gains. And yeah, you can see the gap there. It is considerable between Bihaja and the rest of the field. Collins in second, Matthew Serrell in third. Lucas Blake, well, maybe we should have just been watching him. And there is a big lock-up. Rob Tilley locking up the car. He's going to need to try and find reverse gear. Never the easiest thing to do in a NASCAR. And he's up and running again. That's not triggered the yellow flag. That has not triggered the yellow flag, but what it has done, do I have the track? My apologies, folks, my track map doesn't seem to be working today. But there we go, we don't need the track map to see that he's already been caught up by the race leader, so that puts Tilley in a very interesting position indeed. Yeah, puts him in a very interesting position indeed as far as interacting with the rest of the field. And apologies, yeah, we should have the track map up and running. Just confirming that everything else is working. Apologies, yeah, over obsessed about the track map, and there we go. The trickiness, that is Tilley unlapping himself now, I believe. Yes, it is. So yeah, it's going to be some battle trying to keep everyone in and out of check. As to where they are, we'll bring up the battle boxes so that we can confirm exactly who is where. Yep, so that is Tilley dropping down. And that is Bihaja up at the front, so that's another hybrid car. So yeah, Drew Collins and Matthew Serrell. And Lucas Blake looking for more moves. Tell you what, he's going to be picking up style points this week. Ended up down at the back of the field. He's now made his way back up to 4th position and looking to get himself back on the podium at the expense of Matthew Serrell. Looks like he's got the inside line. Lucas using his knowledge of this track pretty well indeed. Gets it up the inside line. That's some brave manoeuvre. But I mean, I can't believe I've got the cheek to call this 3 lanes. But there we go. Oh, and he's going straight for the cutback. No, he's not quite got the momentum. Both of them have a wiggle on the exit at the last corner. But by the time they get into turn number 1, that is Lucas Blake. Sealed himself a position back up on the podium. Oh, apologies folks, a little touch of a cold going on, but we'll crack on. Again, you can listen to the undulation really of the engine note along this course. Pretty much in one gear. As soon as you get to see sight of the corner exit, foot down, and then you just got to slowly roll your way around the corner. Blake making good progress after that early safety car. Finds himself back up, as I say, on the podium. He's got a good gap as well, back to Matthew Serrell. Speaking of good gaps, so Lewis Bahadur, he's almost 2 seconds ahead, just clocked at 20.8, a tenth quicker than Collins, who was actually a tenth slower than Lucas Blake there. We are 27 laps into this one, so we're fast approaching the quarter mark. Yeah, fast approaching the quarter-way mark of the race. That is Lewis Bahadur, that is out in the lead. Michael Sanders looks like he's closing the distance on Matthew Serrell. Sanders, of course, running back there. He starts. Oh, and that's a big bounce off the wall for Matthew Serrell. The hybrid driver is going to be feeling the pressure sooner rather than later. He was catching up nicely to the car. Oh no, sorry, the car ahead of him, I believe is Rob Tilley. Yes, it is. So it's Rob Tilley that's just ahead of him. So he's going to be potentially lapped. Yeah, he's going to get lapped by Sanders here. Or Sanders is certainly going to be enjoying the slipstream as he tries to catch up with Matthew Serrell, who's just ahead of this group of drivers here. But there's a big gap he's got to make up to the drivers ahead of him. Lucas Blake looking to overturn a 3.7 second gap. The lap time's already down in the 21, so the tyres are getting absolutely chewed through. Now that we're even closer to well, we're getting closer to the halfway mark as well. We're a quarter of the way through the race almost. 32 laps we've done already, and it is Bahadur from Collins. Lucas Blake, who of course started in second, dropped down to 8th, is now back up to 3rd, but he's lapping exactly the same time as Collins is at the moment, so he's got a bit of work to do if he is going to impinge on Collins' lead on him at the moment. We're getting close to impinging on, although Bahadur very nearly letting the back end of the car go. Let's see what he does for a pit strategy with Lucas Blake coming in as early as he did. He's got himself a bit of time. He's going to have a couple of extra laps out on those tyres, but it's not going to be anything overly significant, that's for sure, given that. Whoa, and that's another big wiggle. Sorry, yeah, the tyre difference isn't going to be too significant considering how short that stint was. There is Bahadur going past another back marker, so he's just put a lap up on Jason Hutchins, I believe that is. Yes, it is. So that's Hutchins going a lap down. Of course, any more yellow flags, and we'll get a lucky dog for one of them. So it's still Bahadur from Collins, from Lucas. Blake literally sitting in 3rd. He's now losing a fair bit of time to Collins ahead of him, to be fair. So Collins running well. We can get a quick look actually at the incident with Rob. Why on earth does it keep doing this? Yeah, here you can see he just touches the back of Sanders' car, and that's enough to send him into the wall, unfortunately. Okay, we've got another safety car. No incident registered. It says that Tilley came into the pits. Is it Rob Tilley that's just had a crash? Let me just check and see. Okay, so here comes Tilly. Oh. And there we go then, that's what's caused the yellow flag. Car reversing on the track. It was simply Tilly. Oh, so he didn't come into the pits, he missed the pit entry. He didn't mean to come into the pits, missed the pit entrance. And yeah, that's brought out the yellow flag. Now we're seeing, yeah, everyone coming out the pit. So that's actually handily timed for the drivers then. 40 laps in, and everyone is coming into the pits. Collins has stayed out, Cyril comes in, Blake's come in, Lewis Behadger coming in as well. That's him already on his way out. Puff of smoke from the jam of acceleration. Ooh. Yeah, keep it neat, keep it neat. So there we go then, that's safety car number 2 that we've had. Lap 1, turn 1, and now lap 40. We see the second one, and that is going to put a fresh set of boots on a lot of the drivers. It's going to make it an interesting restart order as well, that's for sure. Check that and check that. So Collins is out at the front at the moment. Hutchins or Tilly should have had themselves a lucky dog there. I believe it is Hutchins who's now catching back up. The safety car has come in. Now Drew Collins has actually stayed out, and there we go, there's the green flag. So we'll see how long he can stay out for. Everyone else has come into the pits, and it's put Collins right up on the front row. So here we go then, it's LB versus LB. Two of the main protagonists from last season's series. They're now battling it out once again for the lead. Lewis will not be loving that safety car recently. That's the one that's brought Lucas right back into the hunt in the rest of the field. Now dropping back. Oh, again, apologies folks, a little touch under the weather, but and that is a touch of the wall there. That's an interesting one. That's brought the two of them together very close indeed. The top two though, absolutely breaking away from the rest of the field, about 2.5 seconds back to Matthew Serrell in third. Then it is very close indeed, but we've got Sanders, Hutchins and Drew Collins here battling away. For fourth position, Matthew Serrell's got himself into a very comfy podium position at the moment. Not so comfortable, just down behind him as Daniel and Jason Hutchins. Daniel Hutchins and Michael Sanders are still chasing down there. You can tell Sanders' car has got the Colonel on the back of it, and I tell you what, Drew Collins right on the back. Oh no, sorry, that's Rob Tilley. I'm getting myself slightly confused. That's Rob Tilley trying to unlap himself in this little stramash that we've got going on here. The battle box has disappeared, but there we go. That will confirm that. Yes, so Tilley smack bang in the middle of this little battle here, trying not to hold anyone up, trying to get on with his own race as well. But he does have blue flag drivers all around him. Up at the front, Bahadja and Blake now separated by just over a second. So over the last couple of laps, Bahadja strengthening the grip that he's got on the lead of the race. Oh, we've got a caution. It's Mike. Sanders and Hutchins. Oh yeah, he's jammed on the brakes. He's gone across the front of him and bang. Yeah, crash in slow motion there. The drivers will absolutely hate that. Here it is again. Get a quick look from Sanders. Yeah, so Tilley just ends up tapping him on the inside, and then a big hit there. Interesting proposition for the drivers. Do they come in to take a pit stop? Yes, they do. So Bahadja came in on the previous safety car at lap 40. He's coming in again for another fresh set of tyres. And absolutely, why not? I mean, that's almost at the halfway mark of the race already. 57 laps and we're on safety car number 3. Now I did predict double figures of safety cars around this course today. Slightly less drivers than we'd thought. But certainly the safety cars piling up on this one. As expected, such a short course, so difficult to keep the cars under control with the constant change of acceleration that they undergo around here. You're accelerating, then you're off, you're trying to turn the car straight back on. It is a wild one. Matthew Serrell is currently the on-track leader. He's stayed out, so is Daniel Hutchins. And Michael Sanders is back out. Lewis Bahadja comes back out the pits. We'll see where the stewards put them all back into place. But it's certainly Serrell that's leading at the moment. There we go, safety car has come in. We are green flag racing once again, and it is going to be an interesting restart given that Bahadja and Blake both just taken fresh tyres. The cars ahead of them have not, and in fact that is Lucas trying to get his way past Hutchins. No joy at the moment. Oh yeah, no, oh no, and there's one going on behind him, sorry, that's Bahadja. Oh, he's just lost himself a whole lot of pace there. No. And that is Lucas Blake, who's suddenly dropping down the order. Rob Tilley's just had a crash. Oh, bounce. Is that another yellow flag? Indeed it is. Blake's had a crash as well. Oh wow. Blake's just put it into the wall and pretty much stopped. Oh, and then Rob Tilley trying to get the car going and keep it out of the pit lane. Finds himself, yeah, the Lucas Blake one. That is a strange one, and he has just got himself back to the pit. Searle in the lead, Sanders in second, Collins third, Buhagiar in fourth, Hutchins fifth, Hutchins sixth, and then Rob Tilley down at the back of the field. So far it's only Lucas Blake that's come into the pits on this safety car. That is 64 laps in, so we have reached and breached the halfway mark. It has been a quick one so far. It's only 30 minutes of racing, I believe. In fact, it's not even 30 minutes of racing. And we've had 64 laps, and we're on safety car number 4. We'll see if Blake does manage to get back out of the pits. It doesn't look like he's coming back out. Unless he's got a lot of damage. I'm going to jump back on. I'm going to have a look at gyro cam. I mean, that is a very, 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 very strange crash. I'm wondering if he's had some kind of technical failure, because that is absolutely bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. And there's the only thing I've got registered for a crash. So yeah, well maybe I'll be able to ask Lucas afterwards. I don't think he'll be joining us for an interview after today's race, given his position currently. He is still in the pits as well. So the drivers are being reordered at the moment. Lewis Buhagiar up on the front 2 rows once again. With quite a few cars around him, we'll have a look and see who's going to have the best tyres. Collins and Buhagiar. Jason Hutchins as well, 20 laps fresher tyres, and there is the green flag. And we are off and running once again. And that's Buhagiar instantly going past Michael Sanders through Collins, also going past as well. Matthew Searle now holding the lead of the race and everyone's attention. And Lucas Blake, I believe, is out of the race. So not entirely sure what's going on there. We'll find out from Lucas, I'm sure, and bring you that info for next week. Buhagiar going for a move up the inside. He has gotten his way back into the lead. Here comes Drew Collins looking to get involved in this one as well. He's got a great view of the battle for the lead of the race. Yep, it's a battle that's already done. Oh, and it's going to be 2 positions in 2 laps lost for Matthew Searle if he doesn't keep his finger out here, because Drew Collins all over the back of him. Sneaks it around the outside. Not so much sneaks, just flies past him in the outside. Yeah, there we can see Matthew Serra, the only driver still on track to be in a net loss position at the moment. He actually started in pole position, now finds himself running in third, while Lewis Buhaja is once again running away with it. 8/10 of a gap back to Drew Collins, his closest rival. We've got Daniel Hutchins as well, keeping a close eye on Michael Sanders ahead of him. Rob Tilley is, yeah, he is still out and running. He is a lap down, of course. Lucky Dog will soon sort that out for him. Let's see what the battle box says. Yeah, so that's Hutchins in 5th ahead of him, so he needs to be careful unlapping himself there. Daniel Hutchins just up the road, and Michael Sanders are the two drivers battling for 4th position. The lead though is still comfortably in the hands of Lewis Buhaja. That's 75 laps that we've done already. What is that? 5 safety cars that we've had so far. And I say so far because it's highly likely we're going to see a few more. That is absolutely the nature of this course, and Buhaja running away with it. We can see after the restart he was on an absolute charge. We jump on to, so there you go, he got the move done on Sanders up that inside line, holds it very neatly indeed. He is then left facing Matthew Serra. Serra, okay, wasn't quite going as quickly, took a bit of a bump draft into the final corner. On the way out he did manage to hold on to the position temporarily, but Buhaja certainly got the bit between his teeth. Goes for the high line through turn number 1, brings it back down onto the apex. Just a game of cat and mouse at this point in time, with Buhaja very much the cat in this equation. And you can see he is just carrying more momentum through the corner. Serra finally yields, finds himself on the outside line, and as Lucas Blake sits in the pits, Buhaja retakes the lead of the race and finds himself still out there now, 1.7 seconds ahead. Closest on track we've got is Daniel Hutchins chasing down Michael Sanders still, and he's bringing Jason with him as well. So it's a full family affair chasing down Michael Sanders at the moment. The KFC family bucket jokes will commence, folks, you'll be pleased to hear. It's Buhaja from Collins, from Serra in the lead of the race, then Sanders, Hutchins, and Tilley. Now showing as 2 laps down. Lucas Blake definitely out of the race, unfortunately. It's been a painful season for Lucas, such a good driver. Really did well last season, but he's just not had the rub of the green, as we say, this season so far. He was in the green room. He's not in there at the moment. I was going to see if we could jump in and potentially find out what we had, or what the issue was. In fact, it might even yeah, nothing in the chat from Lucas either, unfortunately. So again, we'll find out for next week what's going on there. Let's keep an eye on the closest on-track battle we've got. It is still Daniel Hutchins chasing down the Colonel. He's looking for some breakfast KFC, or certainly would be in my time zone. I know a couple of drivers. Boone Blake not racing this week. He does race. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning for him, being in the States. Full commitment. He's not here this week. Lucas is out of the race. So unfortunate. Again, his season, the start of his season has absolutely been one to forget so far. Given his exploits last season, it really has been a bit of a fall from grace. The start of this season, we've still got half the season to go, of course, but his ability to pick up points is certainly diminishing rapidly. Given that we are halfway through, we are coming towards one of the longest stretches without a safety car so far. There's been quite a few we've seen so far, and as we can see, the race leader one of only 2 drivers to take advantage of just under half of the safety cars to come into the pits, and it's holding them in good stead. Buhagiar is absolutely running away with this one again, 2.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, and as you can see, he's been into the pits twice already. And in fact, if we can find, and that'll give us an idea on the tyres that we've got on the track at the minute. As you can see, Searle, Sanders and Hutchins all last pitted on lap 39, so it's about 50 laps ago. I know, it's insane, isn't it? Yeah, 50 laps. 50 laps ago they got those tyres changed. In fact, yeah, 51, so they're almost 20 laps more usage on them than Buhagiar, Collins and Jason Hutchins. So Jason Hutchins could be one to watch, rocketing through the field here if he can just keep it between the mail and the mustard. The cars ahead of him will have to pit before he does for tyre wear. It might even be a bit of fuel saving going on as well. Buhagiar certainly in full control. He's right up behind his teammate Rob Tilley. And there we go, the 2 hybrid drivers navigating one another perfectly there. Tilley now finds himself, that is a full 2 laps down. He needs a couple of safety cars to get himself back on the top spot. We'll see if anyone does actually come in to take a pit stop. It would be clearly what we're talking about, 70 laps. Yeah, almost 70 laps on the one set of tyres, which is just about doable around here, I think. We'll see if anyone can pull this off, but the moment Buhagiar, I think, will be happy with the status quo remaining as it is. Well, again, apologies for the breaks in commentary, a little touch under the weather. I am flying solo this week. We'll have the inimitable Mr. Isaac Fogarty back for next week's race. And of course we're back for the road series tomorrow. Make sure you get tuned in for that one. It'll be myself, Ewan O'Leary and Boone Blake joining us, our very own in-house Ted Kravitz. They'll be taking us through all the pit strategies once again. Still no word from Lucas. We see Matthew Searle there, still running in 3rd place. With Buhagiar now 3 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. You can see is Daniel Hutchins, who is the closest to anyone on track. He's got Michael Sanders still just tantalisingly close ahead of him. And we are fairly firing through the laps. That is 99 laps, just like the red balloons. They've gone absolutely flying by. If you know, you know. If you don't, check it out on YouTube. Buhagiar 3.7 seconds ahead, 21.089. The last lap that he's just put in there. Best lap so far of the race, unsurprisingly. Or, yeah, unsurprisingly, is sitting with Lucas Blake, 19.912 he's managed, with Buhagiar on a 19.946. Those two faster than anyone else on track. Drew Collins with a 20.033, as we can see the times there running down from top to bottom, and then the quickest one down at the bottom. So Blake will be absolutely gutted he's been unable to finish this race given the pace that he was showing. It was a very tough start for him, and in fact, while there is a slight lull in action, we'll get a quick look at the start of the race. And as you can see, it all kind of went pear-shaped very quickly. Matthew Serrell found himself much closer than he thought he was going to be. Blake went around the outside. Oh no, my apologies. So this is the restart. This isn't the race start. Where are we? Okay, so we'll jump through some replays. Here we go. So yes, here we can see the start of the hybrid car. Yeah, Blake, and that is Michael Sanders' view of it, but it had already happened by then. Of course it had. Here it is from a better angle. We will catch this replay eventually. Apologies. But yeah, it was Lucas Blake and Behadja made contact, and then ended up tagging Matthew Serrell. And both ended up going round the wrong way. So the top three making contact right at the start of the race sent us into our first yellow flag. First of many, it has to be said. So yeah, the top three all having a little contest to see who could bounce off the wall the hardest. It was Lucas Blake, unfortunately for him. That did win that particular contest, and it's led to damage, which has led to him being out of the race. Daniel Hudson still going to get past Michael Sanders if he can, and Lewis Behadja now hoping to keep this one running to the end. Less than 20 laps left to go. Wow, it's incredible that's been 54 minutes we've been live for it. Just absolutely flies by. 21-second lap once again for Behadja, 3.9 seconds ahead of Collins, who's now 9 seconds ahead of Matthew Serrell. Daniel Hudson still not able to get a move done on Sanders. Now the tyres on these two cars are going to be... Oh no, sorry, my apologies, they're on exactly the same tyres. They last pitted on lap 39. So that's going to be almost 90 laps, and at this stage, is it worth coming in? Well, yeah, it probably is worth coming in and taking a pit stop because their lap times are absolutely suffering. And yeah, you can clearly see the difference here. Oh no, I was just about to say the 39 lapper, so it's a 21-second lap for Sanders though. So Hutchins 23.5, he's 2 seconds slower, so he's now lost a handful of time to Sanders. So I was about to say all the drivers that have pitted on lap 39, their lap times are in the 23, but it's not, it's just Hutchins who is. Behadja consistently in the 21s. So too through Collins, Matthew Serrell, our pole sitter in this one, finds himself running down at the back of the grid. Sorry, the back of the podium, 2 spots down on where he started. That's Rob Tilley that he's looking to go past. Tilley out on the highline. Serrell with not much in the way of grip there, it looked like. So easy to find any grip around this very, 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 very short course. Of course, we've got super speedways still to come. The drivers will be happy to see this particular course out of the window, I'm sure, as the race leader is still absolutely flying. So that's that up and running as well. Excellent. And yeah, Iowa Speedway next time out, so it's another short course for the drivers to deal with. And a lot of the drivers will be taking part in the Phillip Island race tomorrow, home of the Seagulls. We'll see if we get on with that. It's 116 laps done and dusted. We've got Lewis Buhagiar, who has led for a significant number of those laps. And no one else coming into the pits, so he's got less than 9 laps. 8.5 laps, there we go, 7.5 laps left to go. So about 1 minute 40, just over 1 minute 40 race. They can keep us between the mail and the mustard. Jason Hudson still struggling for lap time on those older tyres. Daniel Hudson's ahead of him, slight improvement on his lap times. He's getting them back into the 22s, but it's not going to be enough to catch Michael Sanders at the moment, that's for sure. Matthew Serrell still running in third, Drew Collins in second, and Buhagiar. Oh, now is that Collins being caught by Sanders? It is indeed, and that's Jason Hutchins being caught as well. All kinds of chaos going on track. Blue flags absolutely everywhere. As you can see, the running order on track at the moment is 7th, 1st, 2nd, 4th, and then 6th. That's how mixed up they've managed to get themselves. Well, it's a whole lot of tyre smoke coming from Sanders' car. He'll be looking to hang on. We've got 6 laps left to go. Lewis Buhagiar has led for about 100 laps out of the 120 that we've had so far. It might even be more than that. And of course we've had 5 safety cars, which is not bad. I did expect a few more. As you can see, this course is very, 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 very difficult. The only way you can get into the flow around here is by realising that there is no flow. Let's do a couple of laps on board with Buhagiar and see how it's done. So that's Buhagiar on the penultimate lap, and in fact that is the white flag. Apologies for the extra sound effects here, folks, but yeah, that is Buhagiar on the final lap with a 3.5 second gap. I don't imagine that was something that he was envisaging before the race started, but it certainly is where we are at. 5 safety cars and a whole lot of tyre changes. Oh, and he's taking the checkered flag. Here we go, and he's going for some early donuts. It is Lewis Buhagiar with another race win. He will be very happy with that one. That is going to massively strengthen his grip at the top of the table. And as we can see, everyone has already crossed the line as Lewis has himself some fun out on track. But there we go. And of course, that is the race results that we are looking for from round 4 at North Wilkesboro. Lewis Buhagiar in first place, Drew Collins. Drew Collins in second. Matthew Serrell did finish on the podium in third. Michael Sanders in fourth, with Hutchins and Hutchins 5th and 6th. Tilley in 7th, and Lucas Blake unfortunately out just on the halfway mark. So that is going to be some more points lost. in the championship for Lucas Blake after a strong championship last season. It's been a tough start to the season for him this time around. We'll see if we get anyone into the commentary box for an interview. It was a fairly diminished field that we had this week, and it looks like we are getting a couple of people in. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yes, indeed. I tell you what, we'll go with the race winner. He was the first one in. He was the first one across the line, and another phenomenal performance after a very interesting race indeed. We don't have any live footage, but we do have him in the commentary box. Lewis Buhagiar, welcome in, my friend. Started in third. Big contact right at the start of the race, but then you managed to bring this one home for the race win, even in the diminished field with a couple of safety cars. How was that one for you?
Yeah, it was a bit of an interesting race, that's for sure. I expected a couple more safety cars, but that's alright. The field was pretty small for that. Yeah, the field was fairly small, so that's when you don't really see that many crashes. But yeah, other than that, it was a fairly controlled race from my end.
Indeed it was, and the pit stops, I did think there was a couple of... SDK playing silly, there we go. Yeah, so a couple of safety cars. We did see you take a couple of pit stops quite back to back, so to speak. How did you find these safety cars as far as the pit stop strategies went?
The fuel, we were going to make it to the end from the start, so fuel wasn't an issue. It was just more tyres, so it was just take a gamble, just try and get the freshest tyres to the end, and that's typically how you want to be on short tracks, is just be the first car in line with the freshest tyres, really. So that's what I tried to do.
Yeah, can't argue with that strategy, or at least I certainly can't, because I hide behind the microphone. Well, you talented chaps and chapettes all do the driving. We've got another short course out next week, Lewis. We've got Iowa, 120 laps. Given the race that we've seen this week, how are you looking forward to next week?
Oh, I think that track's just going to be mental. We, yeah, the tyre will be right up there. There's a lot of lanes, so it'll be interesting. Nice side-by-side racing.
Indeed it will, indeed it will. Well, listen, congratulations. Another race win and another step closer to series champion, which I think we can start saying now that we're 4 rounds done and dusted, and you're atop the points with a nice little haul there, Lewis. So congratulations once again. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Phillip Island, home of the Seagulls. So grab your sunnies, hide your chips, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Will do. Thanks for that, mate. And also a big thanks to Hybrid Sim Sports.
There we go, yes, big thanks to the team as well, of course. Yeah, for putting up with Lewis and his sense of humour. You all need a special badge of honour. I had to throw him under the bus at least once, didn't I? It wouldn't be an interview if I didn't. Joining us now, though, from second place, Mr. Drew Collins, his first appearance on the podium, I believe. Drew, congratulations. How was your North Wilkesboro experience this evening? Sorry.
Thank you. Second appearance, I believe. Charlotte went all right for me as well.
Yes.
I would say here, though, beginner's luck. I don't think I've ever done a short oval in my life, and so my strategy was just to keep it on track and out of the wall, and that sort of paid off in the end.
Yeah, it certainly does. So your first short track experience. This is a short track to gain some first-hand experience, I'll tell you. How did you go with the safety cars and the tyres and things? I noticed you'd pitted pretty much the same as Lewis did. Did you have a plan for pitting under safety cars, or was it very much just react to what was going on around, given how new you are to these very, very short courses?
Well, the first stop I didn't go in purely because my maths was completely wrong, and I thought I wouldn't have enough tyres to get to the end. But then the second time, I saw how fast everyone else was on freshies, so I boxed the second time and got fresh tyres on, and that got me through.
Nice. And how are you looking forward? We've got another short track next week. Slightly longer than this one, but only slightly. with Iowa. Have you done much practice around Iowa, or is that going to be a brand new experience for you as well?
I have done the Indy Next at Iowa before, but I won't actually be able to make it next week, so it's a moot point.
Oh, nightmare. Oh, that would have been good to see. That would have been good to see. Yeah, 2 short courses back to back. Are you off to Bathurst to take it?
No, just got social stuff to do instead.
Right, okay. What? You've got a life outside of sim racing? Goodness gracious me.
Sometimes, yeah.
Outrageous. Yeah, no. Make sure you go touch some grass now and again. It's definitely good for you. But congratulations, Drew. Another podium, as you say. Charlotte got yourself onto the podium, and a great race and a great result considering your lack of time on the short courses. So congratulations, and we'll see you when you're back again.
Thank you.
There we go then. That is Drew Collins finished in second. We've got Matthew Serrell in the commentary box now. He took pole position. He took a double tap on the rear when the double LBs kind of bounced him about ever so slightly, and he's ended up back on the podium. Matthew, short track, tough race that was for you. As I say, you took big contact at lap 1, turn 1 from a battle going on behind you, and it's ended up relegating you down to third position. How was that one for you?
The first green flag when we went green, it's probably on me more than anything. I just gave it a little bit too much when the flag went green, and sort of started to lose the rear end a bit, so I had to get off the throttle, and sort of caused a little bit of chaos behind me. So I'll wear that one. That one was all my fault there, but unfortunately that's just racing, and I probably should have practiced starts a bit more, but yeah.
I mean, that is just racing. That is North Wilkesboro. I did actually have a word with a few of the commentary team, and we were thinking about 10 to 12 safety cars, given the nature of this course. Not many drivers for today's race, so that certainly eased that. After that lap 1 incident, though, how did you find the rest of the race as far as the pit goes? Because we did see a couple of cars drop down, so there was a lot of blue flags in there as well. Tilly Hutchins and of course Lucas Blake out of the race early, but he was involved in some blue flag action as well. How difficult is it around the course this length to deal with blue flag traffic?
I think all the blue flags were pretty fine. The biggest issue for me was that the second safety car that came out after Lucas went into the wall from his hardware issues or whatever happened there. I put out a pretty good lead pretty early on, but yeah, that was the issue that I faced more than blue flags.
Right, okay, now actually I did notice that you were in the chat with Lucas when he pulled over. So was that a hardware failure? Because we did watch him his race come to an end, and it was a very strange ending.
Yeah, he said his keyboard disconnected, and then his steering wheel disconnected as well. But yeah, he did have some hardware issues that ultimately forced him to have to retire after he put it into the wall.
Oh, nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Tough season that he's had. Not so tough for you, though. You're going great guns. Another podium under your belt. We've got another short track next week, Iowa. Will you be here for that one, and how are you feeling ahead of it?
I will be here for it, yes, and I'm feeling pretty optimistic. When we went there in the trucks last season, I had a pretty good strategy that got ruined by a fairly poorly timed safety car. So everything going well, I'll hopefully be able to mimic that and hopefully get another podium under the belt.
Yeah, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Well, congratulations on another podium this week, Matthew. As you say, a tough start to the race, one that you're going to wear. Just not quite getting the accelerator down quick enough, but still came back out on the podium. That is racing, especially short track around the course like North Wilkesboro. So congratulations for gathering that back up, bringing it home on the podium, and best of luck for next week. There we go then, folks. That is the podium sitters. Of course, we had you on top, Collins in second, Matthew Serrell in third place. There we go, and as I say, we're back for Iowa next week, hopefully. The calendar is showing no SDK hub in a moment, so we'll just leave that one out of there. But it is, as I say, it's Iowa next time out, so make sure you get tuning in for that one. And of course, you don't have long to wait for more Tasman Racing League. We're back with the Road Series tomorrow. And it is Lewis Behadger that is once again looking for more podium positions as he looks to continue his strong season in both of these championships. Could he be a two-time champion over the Oval and the Road Series? We will be here to find out. It will be the same time as today's broadcast for that one. As I say, it's Phillip Island tomorrow in the Road Series, and we're back next week for Iowa. 120 laps around another short course. The drivers will be pleased. We've got some longer ones on the way, but it's Iowa next week. That is all we've got time for this evening, folks. Thanks to everyone that has tuned in, been in the chat. Thank you to the drivers that have taken part in the race this evening, and we will see you all, as I say, tomorrow for the road and next week for more short track oval racing. Until then, thanks from everyone at TrackSpotTV for tuning in. Stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.